Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining tonight. There we go. Welcome to my Stampin' Sip Live. I am Michelle Solis, Stampin' Up! Independent Demonstrator from Seekonk, Massachusetts. And welcome and thank you for joining me tonight. Okay. We are tonight going to work on a card with the Under the Moon set, this stamp set here. And I loved this stamp set when I first saw it because I love the image. Really, the image of the moon, I think, is my favorite. But I also loved these dolphins and the little sailboat and the fact that it did like a water image here. So I had a really hard time with this stamp set when I first took it out and I first tried using it. I wasn't really happy with the way that it was stamping. I was having a really hard time with it. So I put it aside and I haven't touched it again until the other night when I started working on what I was going to present tonight. So hopefully, this is the card that I came up with. So I saw a couple people had made these scenes with water and a reflection, and I couldn't find any videos on anybody doing this. So I had to kind of figure it out for myself with just looking at some other cards that people made, and I think it came out pretty good. But whether or not I can pull it off again is a whole nother story. So we will see. Let me see. Where am I here? Okay. All right, so we're going to get started, but first let's cheers, everybody. Cheers to making it through another week. It was the last week of camp at Audubon. Woohoo! And I have a workshop tomorrow with a bunch of lovely ladies that I am really looking forward to. So cheers, and let's move on and get started with the card. Okay, so for this card, what I am using is Blueberry Bushel for the card base. This is 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4.25. And then I'm using a smoky slate mat that is measuring 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And my little piece that I'm using for my for stamping is 5 1/4 by 4. And you could make this smaller if you wanted to, but I decided to start with 5 1/4 by 4. I can always trim it down if I mess up the edges. So that's what I'm starting with. All right, so we're going to put everything aside and we're going to just work on our stamping here. All right, so the stamps that I'm using tonight is this one that creates the water image. I've got these little dolphins, and I've got the moon. And that is all that I am using here for this card. So we're going to do Balmy Blue, Misty Moonlight, and Blueberry Bushel for the water. And then I'm using Smoky Slate for the sky, for the moon. And then basic gray for the dolphins. So that is my color palette. We're going to do some stamping and we're also going to do some blending. All right, let's see if I can pull this off again tonight. Oh boy, so nerve-wracking. I think I must have done this, I don't know, 9 times. I threw a bunch of them away because they just didn't work out the way I wanted them to. So fingers crossed, fingers crossed. We'll just have to do the best we can. All right, so here's my water image. I'm going to ink this up with Balmy Blue. And I'm going to stamp that right in the middle. Now on this one, I stamped off first, which I kind of like. I don't know. I'm going to do it full strength. Let's see what happens. I'm going to do full strength, Balmy Blue. we're just not going to press it down too hard. Okay, so it's a little darker than the one that I did. All right, so we're going to flip this over. See, this is what happened to me last night. All right, but I have another thought that I didn't actually try last night, so let me do that. Let me get a sponge dauber. 2 seconds. All right, we're going to try putting the ink on with a sponge dauber. And if that doesn't work out, then we will do the stamping off thing. But I really wanted a little bit more blue at the top at that horizon line. All right, so we're going to what I'm doing is just picking up some ink with my sponge dauber and putting it onto my stamp. So it should be a little bit more subtle than putting it right into the stamp pad. Let's see how that looks. Okay. Oh yeah, that's better. Don't you think? Yeah, that came out pretty much, that I think came out perfect because you can see a little bit, I don't know if you can see it, you can see a little bit of the blue at the horizon line there. Okay. Hey, Maria. Good to see you online tonight. Okay, so that's the water that's in the middle here. Now I'm going to use Misty Moonlight for the edges. Clean this off. Okay. So now I'm going to go to Misty Moonlight. And instead of stamping it the same way, we're going to turn it upside down. And that's going to make the angle of the water go like this. Okay, so I'm going to stamp it right here. I'm going to have it meet in the middle. And then I'm going to do another layer. I want it to line up with my horizon line there. And I want it to angle this way. So I'm going to bring it back a little bit. Okay, so it's going like this to create that angle here. If you can see this angle here. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. We want it to meet in the middle. And then again, line up this way on this side. Okay, so this technique, or getting this to work, is just all about adding layers of color. So that is my Misty Moonlight layer. You can see so far. And then we're going to do this last layer in Blueberry Bushel. Hi, Debbie. Good to see you online. Thanks for joining. All righty. So now we're going to do another layer with Blueberry Bushel, which is much darker. And we want it to come in again right here. So I want this Misty Moonlight to show. But I also want the Blueberry Bushel to show kind of meeting down here. Okay, so we're going to stamp it once. I'm going to line it up again and stamp it again, kind of back a little bit. And then one last time. to get this edge here, like that. And then we're just going to do the other side. Once you get the hang of this, it's not as hard. It took me a long time to figure this out. Okay, so we want this to meet at the bottom. There we go. And then bring it back a little ways. And then again, just a little more up here at the top. That looks pretty good. What do you think? Does it look the same? Very similar. Okay, so then what I did was I kind of blended it a bit. Oh, where am I going with my blueberry? I still need my blueberry. So what I did, this did not get as dark as I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be super, super dark here. So I just used my blending brush and brought color in so that it would be really, really dark there. Okay. And that also kind of made it look a little bit more smooth. Because you can see you've got that, I don't know what you call that, but where the ink pad kind of, it's almost pixelated. Okay. Bring a little bit more right into the middle. And really this whole thing is just layering, layering, layering colors. Oh, can't pick it up. That looks good, I think. Okay, but then you still have this kind of really light area. I'm going to just put a tiny bit of balmy blue in there. So it's just so it's not white. Add a little bit of blue in there because it's water. And we want it to have a little bit of a blue tint, but still look really light. Okay, there we go. Can you see that? Okay, so that is my water. Now we've got to get the moon in there. So what I did for that was I used a piece of masking paper. So I'm going to take my masking paper. I just cut like a 2-inch strip of masking paper. And I'm going to put this on my jeans a couple times. Put it down, pick it up, put it down, pick it up on my jeans, just so it's not quite as sticky. Pick up some of that lint from your jeans so this is not quite as sticky, because this is really sticky paper. Okay, and I'm going to put that right underneath my horizon line there. Okay. No, that's not even straight. Let's try to do it a little more straight. Line this up. All right, that's better. Okay. Then I'm going to stamp my moon. And we're going to stamp it in smoky slate. So I'll get some smoky slate on there. And then, oh, it would be good if I knew where I was going to go. Okay, right here. Now I'm doing this area that's kind of open, the moon that's open, right at the horizon line. Right there. So that the glow from the moon is reflecting on the water. Okay. Then I'm going to cover this back up because I want to do some blending around the moon here. So I did a little bit of balmy blue across the moon. I lost my balmy blue. Was this it? This might have been it. So we're just going to do just very lightly balmy blue on the moon, just to give it a little color like the water so it's not so white. I know it still looks probably white to you guys, but it is picking up a teeny bit of that blue, just giving it a real light shade of the balmy blue. Okay. And then what I did, I brought some Lost Lagoon in because for some reason, this Lost Lagoon is like the perfect color to make it kind of have this like greenish glow here. And that's what I was going for. So I'm just going to go around the moon with the green. I mean, the moon is made out of green cheese, right? So, you know, we want a green glow. You can see it with a sunrise too. Yes. So there is a sun image in this set. And I am going to do, hopefully later this week, another scenery card like this with a sunset. So be on the lookout for that. I have already made one, but I wasn't super happy with it. I messed it up at the very end after I spent like an hour on it. So I wasn't happy with it. And so I have to do another one. So we will be doing that later this week. Hopefully, either a little video or a quick live for that. Okay, so we're going to get some Lost Lagoon there. And then what I did was a bit of just exactly the way I did the bottom, a bit of the Misty Moonlight. I had Misty, here we go, Misty Moonlight. Around the green. Really gives your arm a workout when you're using these blending brushes. Speaking of a workout, I ran at work today. I never run, and there were parts that were just too jiggly to be running. And I was like, oh my God, I'm out of shape. I need to work on this. I'm falling apart. Okay, so we're going to just get a little bit of that Misty Moonlight in there. So now the key to blending color is to start light, because you can add more color, but you can't take it away. So start lightly and always go back and add more. Okay, so there's some Misty Moonlight. And then we're going to go with some Blueberry Bushel to make the sky beyond the moon light look dark. So we're going to add some Blueberry Bushel to the edges here and look like a moonrise. One of my favorite things is being at the beach when the moon is coming up. I love that. Okay. It doesn't have to be, ooh, that was very dark. Doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, it's the sky and it's nature and it's not perfect. Now I feel like I have to make this side a little bit darker. Okay. All right, let's see what this looks like when we take off the mask. Oh, not bad. But got a little space here. I put my mask, maybe I put my masking paper a little too high there. All right, well, that just means that we have to do a little bit more blending. And we're going to have to move this down. So let's move this down to here. No, too far. Let's see what we can come up with here. What am I doing? Okay, lost Lagoon. I'm not sure I can get rid of that line. All right, you know what? This is what we're going to do. Please hold. We are going to take some basic gray and another blending brush. One second. Okay. This is what we're going to do. We're going to put this right here. And we're going to add a little bit of gray right along that line. So now we're going to change this card completely. You ready? We're going to make it a little different. And we'll see if you guys like the new version a little better. Or not. You can like this or the first one better. All right, so we're going to do that. And then I'm going to take this off. There we go. And I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to do a little more with the gray. So it's not quite such a dark line there. All right, kind of blend this. So it's going to look like the horizon, hopefully. But it's just coming out like a really, like a line. Like a line. All right. But we're going to fix it. Okay. So what we're going to do, what have I got here? Basic gray. I'm going to go back to Smoky Slate. And I am going to get another image from this set, which is this really cool cloud image here. But what I love about this image is it's a cloud, but it also looks like it could be land underneath the cloud. I will show you what I mean. Okay, so we're going to stamp some Smoky Slate, and we're going to line that up right over the moon, like that. And we're going to do a little bit more on the other side here. So it looks like there could be land over there. I like it. Maybe we need another clap up here. No, let's not get carried away. Okay. Let's keep it simple. Okay, now we're gonna do, I think we might add a sailboat. Let's add a sailboat. I had the sailboat out here somewhere. There he is. Whoops. So let's add the sailboat because I want him to take up this space right here. There. And that will look, kind of draws your attention away from the fact that there's that line there. Kind of. Kind of. Might need some more gray. Well, it's not that I'm brave, Maria. It's just that, you just keep going until you're happy with it. There's no right or wrong. That's not bad. All right, and this was basic gray, so I'm going to also stamp my dolphins. There's 2 little dolphin stamps here. I'm doing them both together. And we're going to make them jumping right here. How's that? Because we put the boat there, he couldn't jump in front of the moon. That's a little darker than the first one that I did, but also pretty cool, I think. What do you guys think? I like it. All right, I'm going to have to play with that horizon line just because it's a little too much of a line to play with that. But right now, we'll just stick with it. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is make my card. I'm going to mount this on my gray. And not every card is the perfect card, but they're still all beautiful because they're art and they're handmade. Okay, and then we're just going to mount this on our card base. And I really could not decide on a sentiment for this. I think I'm just going to leave it as it is because I felt like adding a sentiment to it, it was just too stark. And I didn't want to stamp right on it. So I'm leaving it like that. And we'll just put our sentiment inside when we decide what it's going to be. Speaking of the inside, let's do a little stamping for that. I think we'll do some Misty Moonlight. Clean this blueberry off of here. That is such a dark color. And we'll get some Misty Moonlight water. And we'll just get that down at the bottom here. And then, what should we do? Put the little boat? Let's put the little boat. There's my gray. And we could also, I didn't bring one with me, but we could also do the envelope at the same time. So you'd have a matching envelope. And then this will go on the inside. Okay. So there you go. So this is my card with the Under the Moon set. Now this one, once it dried a little bit more, I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can see the little sparkle. but there's some Wink of Stella right on the horizon line here. And then I did a little bit of Wink of Stella in the water. So it's got a little bit of shimmer to it, which I think added a nice little touch to that. So I may add some Wink of Stella to that. Yeah, it's a lot darker, this one, but it's also pretty. I like them both. I like them both. Okay, so let me show you a couple other cards that I did with this set real quick. This was, where's my one that we did tonight? This one tonight. Then I did this one. This is the moon stamped in smoky slate again. And then I punched that out with my 2 3/8 circle punch. And I just stamped the dolphins right over that and just punched that out. And this is the Country Woods paper, which is really cool for this set because it kind of looks like water, doesn't it? It's awesome, but it's like a wood grain. Okay, so there's that one. And then I did this one with the moon. I copied this right out of the catalog. It's not quite as good as the one in the catalog, but I thought it came out pretty. So what I did here was I had a, I think this is smoky slate background card base. Oh no, I didn't. I had a white card base. And then I took a 5 1/4, no, probably 5.5 by 4 1/4 piece of gray. Then I took a piece of white, and what I did was I cut this circle out with die. I think this was probably the Stylish Shapes dies that will fit the moon. And then I laid that over, and I drew a circle with pencil to see where to stamp the moon. And then I stamped the moon in Whisper White ink on the gray. And then once that dried, I covered it. So this piece is also blended. This is Lost Lagoon into, I think this was also Misty Moonlight and Blueberry Bushel. Then I stamped some clouds, and I just flicked some water on there to make some little water speckles that also kind of look like stars. So that was that one. And then I did use the sun stamp. So I did this one with the sun stamp. This one I also used a sponge dauber to add color to that stamp. This was Daffodil Delight and Pumpkin Pie, I believe. Stamped the little sun, and then this was the water. I also used my sponge dauber to put the blue on the stamp, and then I did the little boat in, I think, Blueberry Bushel. There's that one. And then one last one with the sun. So you don't always have to do the sun in orange or yellow. So I did this one in Pool Party, and then the water was Summer Splash. And then I just used a blending brush, not a blending brush, a Stamp and Blend marker in, I think that was Daffodil Delight, to create the little sun, make it stand out with the little dolphins. And that was a little birthday card. So there you go. All right. So those are the cards tonight. Let me know how you guys like that and whether you like this stamp set. I really like it. And now that I've played with it and I'm not quite as intimidated by it, I think I really, I'm happy with it. And so I might actually buy another stamp set like this that creates a scenery, like a scene like this. It was a little intimidating at first, but I think I've kind of gotten the hang of it. Okay, so that's it for me tonight. Hey, Carol. Yes, you can go back and watch the replay. No worries. All right, so that's it for me tonight. All right, just a quick reminder that 2 new kits came out. If you guys have not been paying attention to the website at all, we had 2 new kits released. really, really cute Halloween kit with a three-dimensional little, like, haunted house thing that you can put together, super cute, and some Christmas cards, which I think I might actually buy and send to my daughter so she can make some Christmas cards this year. And then it is also, August, so it's time to redeem any of the coupons that you earned in July. If you spent more than $50, you earned a $5. Hey, Lorraine, you earned a $5 coupon. So August is the month to redeem those coupons. Do not forget to redeem them because once August 31st is gone, you cannot redeem them. And so while you're thinking about what to buy, look at the DSP that's on sale because there's a 15% sale on designer series paper. Do not miss out on any paper that you might want from the annual catalog. Okay, so that's it for me. Thanks, Lorraine. You'll have to go back and watch my boo boo and then me try to redeem my boo boo. Tell me how you think I did. All right, that's it for me tonight. You guys have a great weekend and enjoy. I know I'm going to enjoy my workshop with my ladies tomorrow. So everybody stay crafty, my friends, and I'll see you next week.